with Bitcoin breaking through the key resistance of $30,000 and now $35,000, all eyes are watching for the next big move. Now, after a 2-week battle with the flu, good to say we are back and ready to catch up with what has been going on. So far this year, we have stocks up 15%, bonds have been struggling, gold is up 7%, but it's Bitcoin that's been the fastest horse in the race, now up over 110%. Now, the big question is what happens next? And so in this video, as always, we got some very important things to cover, including how this bull market is progressing against the previous ones, what seasonality can tell us about where prices are going next, and then we'll finish with the biggest developments that have happened in crypto in just the past couple of weeks. Okay, first up, despite all the narratives and FUD flying around, it appears crypto is just doing what it does every 4 years. And we are right on track for another boom. So, starting with one of my favorite charts in crypto, and this is the cycle bottom, as it's pretty much everything you need to know in just one chart. As you can see, clearly shows the big bull markets that happen, then the big bear markets and crypto winters. It also revolves through the middle through this halving event every 4 years. And also shows the multiples that Bitcoin has done. So the first cycle doing a 200x, next cycle doing a 100x, then a 20x, and I'm predicting the next one will probably top out at about 10x. And so one of the big points to remember is that the bull market actually starts at the very bottom of the bear market. So it's looking like this is the actual bottom, and since then we have been in a bull market, and we've had this series of higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and then this recent breakout here. And very interestingly, we are now exactly where it's been in previous cycles. So very, very interesting place right now. Now, I would just say that if we are going to be getting diminishing returns in every cycle, then this really should be tracking below the previous two. So right now, this would seem to suggest this last run is a little bit overbought, as it's not going to be able to keep pace to do a 20x or 100x. Now, this doesn't mean that it can actually go above the previous cycles for a short period of time, but to me, on average, we should be tracking below the previous two bull markets. But despite all the FUD and negativity that has happened, it looks like Bitcoin and crypto is just doing exactly what it's done every 4 years. And the big difference this time is that we have this huge narrative around the Bitcoin ETFs going live, and likely going live in the next 6 months. So it's creating a massive amount of hype. So to also see where prices could be going next, we can look at seasonality. And this time looking at Bitcoin's monthly returns. And last time we looked at this, we had looked at red September, when it did in fact break the trend of all these red months, finishing up 4%. And last time we spoke in October, it was slightly down. Again, seasonality had said that it was very likely that it was going to be a good month, and it actually finished a huge 27.8% up. So that certainly followed suit with October, and now we're into November. And as you can see, seasonality would say that it is also due a pullback. So as of right now, even though it's just broken above 35,000, it's still up only about 2%. So again, with the last chart, it did indicate with the previous cycles that it may be a bit overbought. And also looking at seasonality, this also would suggest that it's due a pullback. But again, this is just probabilities. And with the hype around these Bitcoin ETFs, who knows what's going to happen in the next couple of months. However, historically, they do look a bit red. And now to finish up, despite all the narratives and FUD going on, let's take a look at the biggest developments of the past couple of weeks. So, something you may have missed, but in California, the governor, Gavin Newsom, has green-lighted some crypto regulation for 2025. And any regulation coming to crypto is very good news for the market. It means it's getting adopted. And this bill will mandate crypto firms to adhere to licensing requirements, maintain financial records, and provide regulators with the authority to conduct audits. So this is positive news and developments coming from California. We also saw that Standard Chartered Bank is the next bank to try to launch crypto custody in Dubai. And as I've mentioned quite a few times now, this is going to be a massive part of the next bull market. It's the banks offering crypto custody. And Standard Chartered is probably, their assets under management is around $100 billion. So as we all know, the banks have access to serious amounts of money. We also saw that mega brand Ferrari is going to accept crypto payments in the US. So obviously, again, great news for adoption. And Ferrari's decision to accept crypto payments was driven by market demand, but also dealer requests, with numerous clients having invested in digital currencies. So a lot of the wealthy clients that buy Ferraris have been pushing the company to accept crypto. How cool is that? Then the biggest thing that's been happening in crypto over the past couple of weeks is this bubbling news around all these Bitcoin ETFs. And Grayscale had filed for a new spot Bitcoin ETF, filing a new registration statement with the SEC after they won their case. There was also a lot of buzz going on around BlackRock, their ticker being listed on the Nasdaq trade clearing firm, and since then a lot of other firms have also been added. So this was creating a lot of buzz on Twitter, and every time a new company got listed, Bitcoin was just jumping and jumping. And this is the reason why we have to remember all of these mega investment companies are racing to get a Bitcoin ETF approved, bringing a percentage of $17 trillion into Bitcoin. So from a demand point of view, this is huge and what's creating all the buzz right now. But then we also have something very powerful, not just going on with demand, but also supply. So remember that in less than 6 months, new supply coming onto the market will also be getting cut in half. So this cycle has something very unique, massive implications to supply and demand. Supply being cut in half, and a percentage of $17 trillion of new demand. And this is why Bitcoin and crypto is just looking like and beginning to break out. And FOMO is returning to the crypto market. And finally, these are the dates that everybody is keeping an eye on. When is this ETF going to go live? So these are the different companies. This is the first deadline, second deadline, third and final. As you can see, we've pretty much blasted through the first deadline. We've blasted through many of the second deadline. Now, when it comes to the third deadline, a lot of these are hitting in January, February and March next year. And then the final deadlines, we do have the final one from ARK in January, so this could be a tipping point, but then the vast majority are going to be March. And I would expect a whole bunch of them to be approved at the same time, and this would just be 1 month before the Bitcoin halving event. So the key dates for me, it may get approved a little bit earlier, but I'm a little bit skeptical. So the final deadline for ARK is going to be January, so definitely take your position before then, and then the next likely one will be mid-March. So as you can see, it's an incredibly exciting time in crypto right now, with massive things coming to the supply and demand side for Bitcoin and crypto. With Bitcoin recently breaking the key resistance of $30,000, things are really starting to heat up in the crypto market. Seasonality would suggest that Bitcoin is due a correction. However, something very powerful is going on with supply and demand. From the supply side, things are going to get cut in half 6 months from now, and from the demand side, a percentage of this $17 trillion is going to be entering the space. And as you saw in the middle of all the narratives and FUD, the crypto developments keep coming through every week. So there you are, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Now, good to be back. And let me know, what do you think is going to be the next big move? A big move up or down? Let me know below. But just remember, to get rid of 100% of the comment spam and trading bots that plague YouTube comments, we are trying out the new SuperThanks Commenting system. So to get your question or comment read and replied to, or just to say thanks, then use SuperThanks below. And for now, just to say, if you did enjoy anything in the video, then drop a like, and a big thank you to everyone who does, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.